Hi guys, I'm going to chat about crypto cash in a self-managed superannuation funds. My name is Natalia Clack and I am owner and director of Easy Super. We specialize in the self-managed superannuation funds and I've been doing it for 22 years. So I set up my company 12 years ago and we do have a lot of clients with crypto in SMSF. We are only company in Australia, SMSF specialist company, which also does crypto, and we love crypto. I love crypto myself. However, I'm going to chat about my experiences, with the clients, and what, if you don't know the rules, what it can lead to, and what mistakes people do. Because I see people with crypto every day, and I see the mistakes. Sometimes it's very, very, very expensive mistakes. So we begin with the crypto in SMSF. So why most of the traditional accountants or SMSF specialists don't like crypto? Because crypto is very complicated. And also SMSF is quite a regulated entity. So when you bring them together, complication of crypto, uncertainty with taxation of crypto, and compliance issues with SMSF and being very, very regulated entity, you have a chaos, or you might have a chaos if you don't have SMSF specialist. So we begin with, I guess, from the start. So what you have to be aware, if you have SMSF or you're thinking about setting up SMSF and you want to invest in crypto. First of all, you have to make sure that your SMSF trust deed allows to invest in cryptocurrency. Some people, if they already have SMSF and they set it up a long time ago, their SMSF trust deed may not allow to invest in crypto. And SMSF deed is your Bible, is SMSF's Bible. So if SMSF's trust deed doesn't allow to invest in crypto, it doesn't matter that legislation allows you to do it, you cannot invest in crypto. Number two, investment strategy. It's a requirement under the legislation to have investment strategy in SMSF. As a trustee for SMSF, you are responsible for your investment strategy. In the investment strategy, you have to mention crypto. You have to mention the risk you're taking. You have to mention diversification, especially if you don't have diversification and if you want to invest 100% in crypto. Can you invest 100% in crypto? Yes, you can. However, you have to explain in your investment strategy why you're taking such a risk, why you're investing all your money in crypto. So it's very, very important. The other thing to remember that liquidity. In SMSF, you have to have liquidity. You have to make sure that you can sell your assets and pay your liabilities. So investment strategy is very, very important. After you sort it out, say, with SMSF trust deed in the investment strategy, you have to understand the SMSF rules. If you do SMSF yourself, say, for example, you go online, you set it up, you have to read, and you have to read and understand the rules for SMSFs. If you don't understand the rules, it's very, very easy to make mistakes. So now I want to move to the fun part, what mistakes I've seen in the self-managed superannuation fund and how much it costs to my clients. One of the biggest mistakes is that people, when they buy crypto, they use their own account and they mix SMSF coins and their own coins. Everything has to be kept separately. You don't mix your coins and SMSF coins. Say, for example, you have a cold wallet and you think, I don't want to buy another cold wallet for my SMSF. I just want to use my coin. I want to use my Trezor for my coins and SMSF coins. I'm saving like $500. Don't try to save $500. It will cause your issues with the auditor. Keep everything separate. Invest in a separate wallet, separate account, separate blockchain. Everything has to be separate. The second big mistake, people think, or sometimes people think that they can contribute their own coins into SMSF. It's called in specie transfer. In specie transfer, when you transfer the assets from your own name into SMSF, you can do in specie transfer with shares, You can do in specie transfer with commercial property. You cannot do in specie transfer with the coins, with cryptocurrency. So what it means if you transfer your coins into SMSF, it's a breach. And I've seen people did contributions, they call it contributions, of crypto into SMSF. You cannot do it. I had a client who had a financial advisor, and financial advisor advised them actually to transfer crypto coins, personal crypto coins, worth 300,000 into SMSF. Perfect strategy, tax savings, everything else, but one problem, you can't do it. So we had to deal with ATO to basically undo the whole strategy. So you have to sell your coins. If you want to move coins from your own name into SMSF, you have to sell them first, pay the capital gain tax, move the cash into SMSF, buy the coins, and then they will belong to SMSF. So this is the other issue I've seen quite a bit. What else I've seen? I've seen people trying to save on trading fees. So they're trying to save on trading fees. They open accounts with exchanges, which are very cheap fees. They are not based in Australia. And they're trying to open multiple exchange accounts. You have to understand that crypto compliance is quite a complicated thing. To reconcile your crypto, especially if you have multiple exchanges, multiple wallets, it's quite a hard work. You know that. So whoever's got like different accounts and trying to reconcile crypto themselves, very often you find that it's very complex. So even if you use the crypto tracking software, say CryptoTax Calculator or Coin or Sila, it's still very complex. So very often you need a specialist. Imagine you're trying to do it in a self-managed superannuation fund, and then you send it to your auditor. The poor auditor, and I'm a SMSF auditor myself, so say we charge you $500, $600, I have to do a report, I have to check, I have to do all other compliance checks, and I have to check your CryptoTax calculator report, because I can't rely on third-party reporting. I have to do the sample checking. So when people, again, try to save on fees or try to do, like multiple exchanges, multiple wallets, because they want to buy some like certain coin, small coin, which they can't get from another exchange, think about complexity, think about the audit. I always tell my clients, go and do whatever you want outside of super. Go crazy. But try to be conservative inside of super. I'm not advising you what to do. I'm just saying it's common sense, and try to stay conservative. And other things I've seen a client, for example, one of my clients had like 200 NFTs in SMSF. NFT sounds very exciting and sexy. However, when it comes to 30th of June, I have to value it as a SMSF accountant. How can I value 200 NFTs if it's not on exchange? So where do I get the market valuation from? So I have to hire the valuer, pay the money to every year at 30th of June, you must provide the current valuation. So yeah, with this client, it was interesting as well, because they had to get rid of NFTs in SMSF, not because they can't have it, but because the auditors just wouldn't sign up on audit report and market valuation of these NFTs. So this is the other thing I've seen. It was, again, the client did it before they came to me. So they didn't know the rules. They didn't have anyone to ask. They just went and did it. So bought all these NFTs. What other things I've seen? I've seen people with bot trading. And it was interesting because it was more than 2 million transactions in a year. Bot trading, so it's basically trades all the time, right? They paid some company, they paid the fees for bot trading, and the CSV file crashed Excel, so I couldn't upload the CSV file. I sent it to Coinly. They couldn't upload it to their system. They had to send it to America. Then with my SMSF software, it's called BGL 360, they couldn't upload it either. And guess what? The client lost 60 grand on bot trading. So was it worth it? I don't think so. And imagine his accounting fees and audit fees for this type of adventure, I would call it. So yeah, I think I've seen it all in self-managed superannuation funds. I don't think I haven't seen anything, you know, like nothing can actually, you know, impress me anymore. Oh, the other big thing and a big mistake, margin trading. So you cannot do margin trading with crypto in SMSF because SMSFs are not allowed to borrow. The only exemption is the borrowing against the property. So margin trading is no go for SMSFs. Again, when you do sign up for some exchange or some sort of like, you know, crypto project, you have to check what is behind that project. Is it a margin trading? Is it a borrowing? Every time then clients come to me, they say, oh, Natalia, you know, like I want to do such and such thing with crypto. And very often I don't know this project. I don't know what they're talking about. Usually I say, okay, I have to do research because I have to dig deeper and find out what this project is about. Like, because there is always something new with crypto. You know that, guys. You know, there is always something new and exciting. But before jumping on anything, please try to talk to SMSF specialist, try to talk to your accountant and find someone who understands crypto and who can actually tell you if it's going to be compliant. Because tax is one issue, but another second issue is non-compliance. And you don't want to become non-compliant, or you don't want to get penalties from ATO, or you don't want to get audited by ATO because your auditor reported you to the ATO. And what else? Staking. Staking is very exciting. Staking is allowed under CIS Act, so no problem with staking. However, it's ordinary income. So you receive the coin, you receive the staking rewards, and it's valued on the day. So whenever you receive it, it's valued on that day. And if the market value fluctuates, especially if it fluctuates a lot, you might have a situation when you receive the coin. It's worth $10, for example. When you sell it 2 months later, it's worth $1. Guess how much tax you pay? You pay tax on $10. So again, I had a client who made more than $1 million in coins which were only super duper expensive for 3 months. They were getting these coins as a staking reward. They accumulated more than 1 million in staking rewards at market value at the time when they received it. 2 years later, they sold the coin for 10 grand. They sold all their $1 million rewards for 10,000. Guess how much tax they had to pay? They had to pay tax on $1 million, right? Because this is what was, this is again, you know, it's unfair, I know, but we did apply for private ruling with ATO, and ATO said there is no way we are going to change because this is a law. You pay tax on the staking rewards at the time when they're received. And don't forget, with SMSF, you have to report everything. You can't get away, you can't hide it because your auditor will check everything. So if you think, you know, like, oh, you know, I just won't tell the auditor, bad luck, because we have to check everything and we have to report everything. There is no way. It's not, SMSF is not self-assessing. It's like an individual tax return. You go to your accountant and say, oh, I only made like 5 grand last year, and the accountant puts it in the individual tax return. It has to be, everything has to be proven. So it's not self-assessed and it's audited. So you can't hide things from the ATO in that case. So yeah, this is my sort of like scary stories. But I have, I think, 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes. If you have any questions, otherwise I can keep talking about, you know, scary you even more. Yeah, but do you have any questions? Yes, please. Yeah, you can trade in SMSF, but again, how much trading you're talking about? You have, first of all, you have to pay tax on it, all right? And the second, from compliance point of view, from accountant's point of view, if you do a lot of trading, it's going to cost you more from accounting fees, because we have to actually process every single transaction has to be processed. It's not like you give me a number and I put it in your SMSF tax return. It means your accounting fees, the more you trade, the higher accounting fees are. Yes, you can swap the coins. Every time you swap, it's a capital gain event. So it's like you sell one coin, you buy another coin. So it means there is a tax to pay. So, and it doesn't matter if it's SMSF or your own name, the tax law is exactly the same. The amount of tax is different. SMSF is only 10% tax if you hold the asset for more than 12 months, or 15% tax. No. You can trade in SMSF. The question is, if you trade in a lot and you consider to be a trader, it's going to be your ordinary income. So it means there is no capital gain discount. So it doesn't go on a capital gain account, it goes on an ordinary income account. But doesn't matter, you pay tax. If you're a trader or not trader, you pay tax. But you can do it in SMSF. I told you about bot trading, 2 million transactions. What do you think it was? So, and the issue wasn't that he was trading. The issue was it was so many transactions, it was hard to do the reporting. And the auditor just said, I can't check it. How I can do that 20% sample testing? Imagine 20% of 2 million transactions. Auditor has to go online and check the hashtag for transaction. Yeah. What do you think? It's not that simple. All right, what's the question? So the question is, if you want to hold a coin and do borrowing against it, you cannot do it. You will breach the section 67 of CIS Act. You will get in trouble. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it in any other entity, not in SMSF. SMSFs are not allowed to borrow, and yeah, so you can and you can lend. No, you are not allowed. So you can't do marginal trading or yeah. Okay, what's the question? Which one? Options. Again, if it's a borrowing, no, you cannot do the option trading. Yes, you can do options, the same like with the shares, as long as it's not, as long as it's not a borrowing. But again, think about reporting, think about your accountant and the auditor. So how you going to provide them with the reporting? What reports are available? Because you go to some platform, they send you some very, very basic report. What are you going to provide to the auditor? That's the complexity of SMSF. So any other questions?
Hello. You mentioned that you can go 100% on something if you rationalize it. How in-depth do you need to be, and what is your success rate in terms of not getting it overturned? Like, say if it's all 100% stocks, and you do your minutes and you put a lot of rationale. Well, how much detail do you need to go through to put in there? And also, have you had any issues with, say, the ATO saying no, that's not enough, and they'll have to diversify?
Sorry, I think I didn't understand the question. So.
100%. You mentioned someone using their super to invest 100% in Bitcoin or 100% in one share, you said that was possible? Is that correct?
Yes, it is possible.
How in depth do you need to be to show that the ATO that what you're doing is it's measured and you've done your research, and what is the success rate of doing that?
Yeah, there are a couple of things here. First, investment strategy. You have to make sure your investment strategy is really, really, really good and covers all the issues. And diversification, very important. And the second, every single transaction has to be processed. So we have to, usually we use, like I said, crypto tracking software, because SMSF software can't do the calculations. We have to use external software like CTC, Coinly, crypto tracking. So there are quite a few of them. We like using Australian crypto tracking software and process every single transaction. So it's not about, it's how fine depth you have to process everything, every single thing. And the auditor will check, but they will not check every transaction. They have to do sample checking. Usually it's 20%. So they have to actually check the transaction, every fifth transaction, technically. So, yeah.
So just to summarise and kind of put, I guess, a strategy to someone like yourself, which, by the way, we are about to come on board. Let's say you got $200,000. The end goal is to own BTC. BTC is king. So I've got $200,000. I buy $100,000 worth of BTC. I take $100,000 and I go buy Sol, Sui, and Solana, best meme coin in the world. 2 years from now, or before the end of the bull run, that goes to $500,000. So my profit on the 100 is now 4. How much tax do I pay on that, and when do I pay it? When is that 400? When is that tax payable? Because the intent would be to roll that 400 into USDC or USDT, wait for the bottom of the market to drop out, and then turn it back into BTC. How would you put that strategy in place?
When you swap one coin to another, you sell it. It's like you sell it. This is when you pay tax. You pay tax when you realize your capital gain. So if you just hold it, you don't pay any tax. So you pay tax when you sell it or swap it.
But when does that 10% come in? You're saying, I think if you hold for 12 months, it's 10%. Is that right?
Okay, yeah. If you hold it, if you swap it or sell it in the first 12 months, you pay 15% tax. If you sell it or swap it after 12 months, you pay 10% tax. But when you get older, say you're past 65, after 65, you pay zero tax if you're in pension mode. So it's something about SMSFs, but it's more, yeah, it's a different story. But yeah, there is a potential pay zero tax if you're older.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
A lot of the tax softwares, like Coinly, they have a lot of exemptions, as in errors that come up through your transactions. No fault of your own. It's just the exchange, that the data that comes from the exchange is just gobbledygook sometimes. And trying to resolve those anomalies, extremely difficult. Now, in your experience, do you have, if I was to create a Coinly report...
Sorry, I can't hear you, sorry.
Sorry. If I had a Coinly report that had a lot of errors in there, would that be acceptable for you to, for audit purposes, or do I have to resolve those exceptions?
If you do what, sorry?
So I have a Coinly report. In most Coinly reports, there's errors in there. For whatever reason, you know, a cost base of a certain coin, they can't identify in the software. And when you, it's more so from the data that's pulled off the exchange, rather than anything that you've done yourself. So before I hand that to a tax for a tax audit, do I have to resolve that, or is that something that the tax auditor could resolve?
No, we do the reporting for you.
Okay.
So we do reporting for you. The reason is because if you do it yourself, we don't know what you've done. So we do the whole reporting for you. What we will need from you, we will need an information such as a CSV file, transaction report, public key, public address, and we do the whole reporting for you, so you don't need to do anything. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Just wanted to ask a question regarding the staking. So if you get staking, if you're staking a coin, say it's $5 today, and at the time that you want to sell it, maybe 12 months later,
Yeah.
so say the coin is now $20, so do you pay tax for between the $5 and the $20?
Of course, yeah.
And
Because
then you get the 10%.
yeah.
If
Yeah,
it
the
is
cost
both.
the cost base will be $5. If you get the coin today and market value is $5, this is your cost base
Yeah.
for the coin. You sell it for $20, you pay the tax on $15.
So even if you don't pay for it, but it's a staking coin, it's based on the cost of the price of the coin on the day that you receive it.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. It's cost base, yeah. I think times is up. Last one.
I just want to clarify what you said. If we are using your self-managed super fund, you borrow against it to do options trading, you're going to find a problem with the tax. Am I right?
Yes, you can't borrow.
So you can borrow. So if you use your own money, but you don't use the super fund, and when you have the tax, which is the self-managed, how would you do that? Is that still be just normal CDC software that you use? And
Oh yeah. If you use crypto outside of SMSF, you use the same coin tracking software. So to calculate your tax, the difference is you just go to your accountant and show them like two numbers. You show them the income and you show them the capital gain. That's it. With SMSF, we have to know every single transaction. They have to put it in our software. So it's completely different game.
Okay, so if
Yeah.
you're doing trading and you're doing hodling, when you do your tax, the trading will be treated separate to the hodling tax. Is that right? Yeah, like if you buy and you sell and you are paying tax on the profit, would that be on the same percentage tax as if you were doing trading, or will it be treated as two separate ones?
For SMSF,
With ordinary tax, not borrowing.
oh, ordinary tax, it depends on your marginal tax rate or which entity you are trading. So if you have a company in the trading under company name, it's one tax. If you're trading under your own name, it's a different tax.
Okay.
In SMSF, it's a most tax concessional environment in Australia. You pay maximum 15% tax.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's it? No more? That's it? All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you.